Hello and welcome all of you, my dear friends. Today again we will be discussing about the story on Pocahontas. Okay, so this is part fifth. Do carry on. Pocahontas, part five. As you all know, Pocahontas was a princess of a native tribe, and how she established good relations with the colonial Britishers and the Englishmen who came to America. She acted as a link between the Americans and the Europeans. Something we read about Pocahontas in Wikipedia is that she was an historical person and she also has been a Disney character. We have by the same name Pocahontas. Okay, so Pocahontas was born as Matacoa, known as Amuntek, was a Native American woman notable for her association with the colonial settlement at Jamestown, Virginia. She was the daughter of Powhatan, the paramount chief of a network of tributary tribes of Snoqualmie, encompassing the Tidewater region of Virginia. Okay, this is the man. There are a few things Wikipedia provides us. Okay, so Pocahontas was captured and held for ransom by the colonists during the hostilities in 1613. During her captivity, she was encouraged to convert to Christianity and was baptized under the name Rebecca. She married tobacco planter John Rodfe in April 1614. Aged about 17 or 18, she bore their son Thomas Rolfe in January 1615. In 1616, Rolfe traveled to London where Pocahontas was presented to English society as an example of civilized savage in hopes of stimulating investment in Jamestown settlement. She became something of a celebrity and was elegantly fitted and attended a masque with Whitehall Palace. In 1617, the Rolfes set sail to Virginia, but Pocahontas died at Gravesend of unknown causes, aged 20 or 21. So buried in St. George's Church, Gravesend, in England, but her grave's exact location is unknown because the church was rebuilt after fire destroyed it. So numerous places, landmarks, and products in the United States have been named after Pocahontas. Her story has been romanticized over the years with some aspects which are probably fictional. Many of the societies or the stories told about her by John Smith have been contested by her documented descendants. She is a subject of art, literature, and film, and many famous people have claimed to be among her descendants through her son, including members of the first families of Virginia, First Lady Wilson, American Western actor Glenn Strange, and astronomer Percival Lowell. So we go through, you can find out her early life and her interactions with the colonies, her death, and her legacy. Her cultural representations, see also her references, bibliography for the reading. Okay, so that would be enough for today, and then we will be. So now we will be going through a Real story of
Here's
Pocahontas.
what really happened. Apparently, Pocahontas' mother died giving birth to her. Her birth name was actually Matoaka, which means flower between two streams, and was probably given to her because she was born between the rivers of the Mattapony and the Pamunkey. After her mother died, Pocahontas' father was really sad, and Pocahontas became his favorite child because she looked so much like her mother. She was raised by her aunts and other women in their tribe. During that time, it was customary for the paramount chief to have other wives. So Pocahontas' dad had a few other wives in other villages. So the family wasn't just Pocahontas and her dad like the movie made it seem. Here's where the story starts to get creepy. According to her tribe history, Pocahontas was only about 10 years old when John Smith and the colonists arrived in 1607. John Smith was around 27. So if they did have something going on, it would have been absolutely disgusting. Luckily, they were actually never married or even involved with one another. The children of Pocahontas' tribe were all watched very carefully, and because she was a princess of sorts, she was probably watched even more closely and provided with cultural training that the other children did not get. On the other side, in the movie, we saw John Smith as this guest guy who saw all men as equal and was both equally kind and hot. In real life, the native people stayed away from him because he was known to go into people's villages and put guns to their heads and demand food and other supplies. In the winter, John Smith met with the Powhatan warriors and ended up being captured by the chief's brother. Luckily for John, the Powhatans agreed with the English on one thing. They both feared being attacked by the Spanish, so they formed an alliance. After a while, the tribe began to like John and offered him a role as a leader and gave him a better area to live in. After many years passed, John said that Pocahontas saved his life during the 4-day process where he was initiated into a leadership position with the tribe. But according to written accounts from Pocahontas' tribe, that could have never happened. This is for a few reasons. First, the tribe wouldn't have been trying to hurt him if he was receiving such a big honor. Second, children weren't allowed in any of the ritual ceremonies, so Pocahontas wouldn't have been allowed to be in attendance. So though the movie showed Pocahontas selflessly throwing herself in front of John Smith, that never happened in real life. Pocahontas also never actually defied her dad to bring food to John Smith and his crew in Jamestown. Why not? Well, because Jamestown was 12 miles from where Pocahontas lived. There's no way a 10-year-old girl would have traveled that far alone, especially not a chief's daughter. If she did somehow manage to escape her father and her people to head to Jamestown, she would have had to cross several bodies of water. That would have required using one of the 400-pound canoes that her tribe had. There was no way she could have lifted one of those canoes into the water by herself. So Pocahontas actually didn't have much at all to do with John Smith. When she was 15 or 16, she actually did marry Kocoum, had a child with him, and moved to his village. Soon, a colonist named Samuel Argall went to look for Pocahontas in order to capture her. He demanded that the tribe give her up or suffer an attack. She was forced to leave her child in the village and go with Samuel. Though she went as she was told, Kocoum was still attacked after she left. Later, Pocahontas married Englishman John Ralph and converted to Christianity. Some say that she married him for love, but she was never allowed to see her family again, so it doesn't sound like the relationship was very mutually beneficial. John Ralph is mentioned in the second Pocahontas film, and she does go on to marry him in the movie, but Disney conveniently leaves out the kidnapping and how the two ended up meeting, probably because no one would be able to sleep through the night after hearing the real story. And that's it for the messed up real story of Pocahontas. Were you surprised by the difference in the two stories?
So, guys, now be ready to for a small movie having some moral for the kids on Pocahontas. It's just for your knowledge and entertainment. It's just for your fun.
Mrs. Farrow has gone mad. How does she think that I can help her? Why? What does she want? She wants me to help her pick the leaves from her lawn. How can I do that? I am just a kid. It is something that grown-ups do. Yes, grown-ups and Pocahontas.
Pocahontas. Once upon a time, an 11-year-old girl called Matauka lived with her tribe, the Powhatans. Matauka was always cheerful and a playful person. Hence, people lovingly called her Pocahontas. One day in the year 1607, many English ships arrived on the shores where the tribe settled. The Englishmen founded a colony called Jamestown there. One day she met Captain John Smith and took a liking to him immediately. "Hello, what are you doing here in the colony?" "I know the winters can be hard, so I have brought supplies." For the settlers. There's food and some warm clothes. That is very kind of you. Thank you. This went on for an entire year. Pocahontas helped the Englishmen build their colony and settle there. But the tribesmen grew weary of the settlers. "We should ask them to leave our lands immediately. This has gone on too long." "We should reason with Captain John Smith. I think he is a powerful and kind wizard. I say we drive them out of here." "Give me a chance. Let me talk to them. They know I am a friend." "Okay, Pocahontas. Tell the settlers to provide the tribe with guns in exchange of food and supplies we have been providing them." "The tribe wants you to supply them with guns in exchange of the provisions that they send." "That is not possible." With both sides adamant about their decisions, there wasn't much to be done. But Pocahontas did not give up. She continued to keep the peace between the two sides. Her patience and thoughtfulness kept the two from going on an immediate war against each other. One day, Pocahontas learned that John Smith died in an explosion. She was very sad to know this and stopped visiting the colony. With Captain John Smith gone, I am in charge. I am tired of these fights with the tribe. I say we kidnap Pocahontas and get leverage against the tribe chief. Orders given by the new captain were carried out. Pocahontas was kidnapped and put on a ship immediately. There she met John Rock. She converted to Christianity and married Rob. Soon they had a son. Few years later, Pocahontas traveled to London. There she met Captain John Smith. I thought you were dead. I am so happy to see you alive and well. John Smith and Pocahontas spent the rest of the evening talking about past times. A few days later, she contracted smallpox and died in London at the age of 22. When John Smith found out about her death, he said, Pocahontas saved the colony from famine, confusion, and imminent death. She was 11 years old when she started helping the colony, dear. Yes. I think there is no age for helping someone. You can do it any time. Let me go and help Mrs. Farrow now. Okay, see you later then.
So guys, this is all we have learnt about Pocahontas. Hope you have liked it. Please go through the previous videos also again and again. Read the lesson for your own personal understanding. Thank you, goodbye, and take care.